Longtime viewers of this series will know that some of the best treasures of the United States National Park System lie beneath the surface of the Earth. Systems like those at Mammoth Cave and Carlsbad Caverns are some of the longest, largest, and prettiest caves in the world. Today we talk about a cave that is often overshadowed by the other attractions in its home state of South Dakota, but is just as spectacular as any cave in the US. This is what's lurking under South Dakota's Black Hills. This is Wind Cave National Park. Caves are formed in many different ways, and Wind Cave has a unique formation story, just like many of the features in America's national parks. Here's how it happened. The time is 350 million years ago, and present-day South Dakota is covered by a shallow sea. Seashells on the seafloor over time harden into limestone, and gypsum, also found in the area, crystallizes into hard formations on the limestone. This type of limestone is known as the Black Hills limestone after the hills it resides in. However, the gypsum is unstable. Water seeps into the cracks of the stone, forming a mineral called calcite, which dissolves the limestone, forming the first passageways of what will become Wind Cave around 320 million years ago. Over the next 240 million years, as oceans rise and fall, the cave slowly develops into a large and complex system of underground tunnels. Then, the Black Hills experience an uplifting. More fractures appear in the limestone, generating even more corridors and expansive Wind Cave. Unlike most caves, the water does not course through the formation like an underground river. Instead, its slow seeping process helps to create the boxwork structure seen in the cave today. Around 40 to 50 million years ago, the water stored in Wind Cave starts to drain out, and now it resides 500 feet below the surface of the park, in an area known as the lakes. Today, Wind Cave is the 7th longest cave in the world, just above the caves at Carlsbad Caverns National Park in New Mexico, and several spots below neighboring Jewel Cave National Monument just about 30 miles to the northwest, and the longest cave on Earth, Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. So with this giant cave right beneath the very feet of the many people who roamed the land for thousands of years, someone was bound to find it sooner or later, right? Well, according to the Dakota tribe, the first humans started in the cave and worked their way out. In their language, the cave's name means the earth is breathing, signifying the people and the movement inside. The tribe's story tells of two spirits on the surface who wanted to bring humans out of the cave to play tricks on them. They sent a wolf into a hole in the earth where the cave was with lush gifts from the humans, and some of the humans were enticed to leave the cave, despite their creator forbidding them until it was their time to leave. The enticed humans experienced prosperity on the surface at first, but the harsh winter revealed the spirits' tricks, and for their disobedience, the creator turned the humans into the first bison herd. When the time came, the patient humans came up onto the surface through the same hole the wolf and enticed humans had gone through, and the creator told them to use the bison as a means to survive above ground. And after the last person had left the hole they had used to escape the cave, the hole was shrunk so no man could return back to the place of the creator. However, white settlers ventured to try and explore the cave starting in the late 1880s. Two brothers by the names of Tom and Jesse Bingham heard blowing wind coming from somewhere on a calm day, and followed the sound of the wind to the small cave entrance. The wind was so strong it blew one of the brothers' hats right off. This wind, of course, gave the cave the name it's known by today. The first actual explorer into the cave, a man by the name of Frank Herbert, went into the cave in the same year as its discovery, using candles and string to wander through the cave before eventually turning back. After the Herbert expedition, word started to spread about the cave, and two major players would help to turn the cave from any old cave into a national park. Those two people were Alvin McDonald, perhaps the first true explorer who delved deep into Wind Cave, and John Stabler, who partnered with the McDonald family to hold cave tours at Wind Cave. After maintaining a popular tourism business, Alvin fell sick and died near the end of 1893. In the years following his death, arguments broke out regarding whether the McDonalds or the Stablers should have ownership of the land in the cave. The argument was eventually resolved when Congress stepped in and took the land from both owners, and in 1902 declaring it a national park, to be signed into law at the beginning of 1903 by Teddy Roosevelt, making it the nation's 7th national park. Members from both the Stabler and McDonald families were allowed to stay at the park as tour guides, though, as well as operating hotels on the property. Today, Wind Cave offers a variety of tours for visitors to go on, including the Garden of Eden tour and the Natural Entrance tour, which allow visitors to see the fascinating boxwork features of the cave and the many other cave formations, known as speleothems. For adventurous cavers, take the Wild Cave or Candlelight tours, primitive tours that go deep into uncivilized parts of Wind Cave. Please note that the last two tours require reservations, and only the physically prepared should venture to do those. One other note. As of the summer of 2019, Wind Cave is actually closed for tours. We hope it will be open again soon though, so that you may enjoy the underground wonders once more. Above the ground, you can view the largest natural entrance, which isn't saying very much because it's only 10 inches wide, to the cave, the origin of the Dakota creation story, and you can also go hiking on paths like the Elk Mountain Rankin Ridge Trail to view the wonderful landscape of the Black Hills. In any season, Wind Cave is a wonderful place to visit above and below ground. One of the oldest parks in the system, Wind Cave is a true geological jewel that has deep cultural roots and beautiful scenery around every bend. But we here at RAC Adventures can only say so much about the national park. To truly experience the lure of Wind Cave, go and take a visit yourself to the South Dakotan underground wonder, and create memories that will last a lifetime. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been RAC Adventures covering Wind Cave National Park briefly.